So Disney's Beauty and the Beast live-action remake is one of the most anticipated films of 2017. And now that it's finally out, opinions are mixed. But I think it's best to focus on the positive. I'm Jake Roman from Classless, and this is the top 10 moments from Beauty and the Beast 2017. Let's get started! So the first thing that I want to mention is LeFou. Now, it's no surprise to everybody that Josh Gad was a great casting choice for the part, and his performance, while amazing, is not what I'm going to talk about today. But what I really want to talk about is Disney's decision to make LeFou unquestionably gay. I think that this helped dramatically and structurally in a couple different ways. The best example that I can think of is in the final fight sequence, when LeFou is caught under cadenza and is reaching up to Gaston for help. Gaston decides that he would rather be a hero than help LeFou and leaves him caught under cadenza. Knowing that LeFou is in love with Gaston makes this moment much more heartbreaking. And then following this, LeFou immediately gets up, takes Mrs. Potts, and uses the steam from her to fight against the other villagers, basically switching sides. Next up on the list, we have the moment when Beast has asked Belle to dance. She has accepted, and now they're getting ready, the two of them, separately. It's really nice to see informal, casual, human moments. The original movie feels very formal, and so it's often sometimes hard to connect with the characters. We see them as fairy tale creatures. We see them as fantastical people who we could never meet on a day-to-day basis. But we see Beast in the shower, behind a curtain, soaked, and he says something along the lines of, "I just asked her to dance on a whim. I didn't expect her to say yes." And it's so cute and quirky that it really makes us start to fall in love with him. And this is that point in the movie when we're supposed to start to like Beast and he's getting nicer. So I just thought that was a really nice touch. People have been talking a lot about how the live-action remake is so similar to the original, that cut for cut, it's pretty much the same movie. But one of the biggest differences between the original and the 2017 live-action remake is that we find out more about Belle, and particularly her past and her mother. There's a moment when Beast opens up a book, and it's a book that the Enchantress gave him, which allows him to visit any place in the world that he can imagine. Belle uses this book to go to Paris to see the place where her mother and her father used to live together before her mother died. And in doing so, she discovers that the reason her mother is not around is because she died of the plague, and Maurice, her father, had to make a decision whether to stay with Belle's mother or to take Belle away and keep her safe from becoming infected. This is one of the few moments where the movie seems more adult and more intense and dark than the original, and I liked that Disney took it in that direction, because a lot of people who might have grown up with the movie are looking for something a little bit more different and a little deeper than the original, and Disney sort of hit that mark in a few places. This is going to be the shortest one on the list because I don't actually want to spoil it. The casting choice of Ian McKellen as Cogsworth was absolutely perfect, as was the casting choice for a lot of the members of the household. But I thought that Ian McKellen's inclusion in this movie was really, really clever and a good choice on Disney's part, and I wanted to give him credit in this list because his performance was so nuanced and so great. And I don't want to say exactly what happened leading up to it, but essentially there's a moment at the very end of the movie when Ian McKellen has turned back into Sir Ian McKellen, and he says the words, "Turn back into a clock, turn back into a clock, turn back into a clock." And it's just hilarious. So if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry, but not gonna spoil it for you. Following that same line of thinking, the casting of Ewan McGregor as Lumiere and Cogsworth as Ian McKellen is genius in so many ways, and the two are just giving it to each other back and forth throughout the movie. So I just had to pick one of those moments for this list, and this is the one I chose. Lumiere is sort of plotting to get Beast and Belle to be together. It's what he does the entire movie. And Cogsworth certainly is on board, but this is early in the film, and Cogsworth is sort of cynical, and he says she's never going to fall in love with him. And Lumiere responds, "A broken clock is only right 2 times a day, and this is not one of those times." It's a really human moment, and I think that's why I liked it so much, because it was just so savage. Moving on. Oh, maybe it's me, maybe it's I'm so dark, but I keep picking moments for this list where the movie is much more adult and nightmarish than the original. So after Beast lets Belle go search for her father, to go help Maurice because Gaston is being a big jerk face, he's up at the top of the tower, and then the villagers come back and they're trying to break down the door to get in to kill the Beast. So one of the members of the house, Lumiere, comes up and is behind Beast and says, "They're breaking down the doors, sir." And Beast's response is, "Let them come." He's so heartbroken that he has let Belle go and that she's not coming back that he doesn't care. He says, "Let them come." And I think this is such a powerful moment for Beast's character, because we see him when he's rough, and we see him when he's in love with Belle, and now we see him when he's heartbroken, and it's so despairing and so dark, but it's so real, and I really appreciate that Disney decided to keep that in the film. I just know that I'm gonna get crap for including this one on the list. Technically, this isn't a moment. One of the best parts of the whole movie is the way it looks. Disney has never really done a bad job of making things beautiful and immersing us in the world with the visuals. And this movie is so gorgeous that if we're talking about reasons to see it or great things about it, whether it's a moment or not, I had to mention that the movie just looks so freaking good. We love it when things are unjust and the main character or the good guy is being just kicked in the butt over and over again, and then he finally gets his deus ex machina. He has a way out, right? And the moment when the villagers and Gaston have placed Belle and Maurice in this locked wagon and they're going to be taken away to an insane asylum, which, by the way, on Gaston's part is not really good flirting. Guy doesn't really have the best game. And Maurice all of a sudden realizes that he hasn't yet tried to pick the lock, and he's good with gears and all of that kind of stuff. He's crazy Maurice, the inventor guy. And Belle happens to have a little pointy bobby pin-esque thing that she gives to him, and he picks the lock and they get out of there. It's just a great moment. It's when everything starts to go right before it goes wrong, before it goes right again. So, on the list. Josh Gad is he's a fine wine. He's just he's a freak of nature, and he's so good. Man, did he kill that song. There's also a moment, since I didn't give a lot of detail there, there's actually a moment when he talks about nobody bites like Gaston, and in the original Broadway musical, I know that Gaston bites him on the foot at that point in time, but in this, he pulls up his shirt and he has like a hickey, a bite mark on his stomach, and I just thought that that was the cleverest choice. Last, but certainly best, is the death of Gaston. Now, Gaston is a jerk, and Luke Evans' portrayal of Gaston did a really nice job of making him a jerk. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is, in the beginning, you don't really hate him that much. He kind of seems like a guy who really cares for Belle and is very attracted to her, and is just a little bit of a lump. By the end, no go. He tries to kill Maurice. He gets Maurice thrown in an insane asylum, or tries to. He throws Belle in there, the girl he supposedly loves, with her father, who he has abused, and he's just a jerk. He's turned his back on LeFou, his most loyal and longtime friend. We all want to see Beast kick his butt, right? That's what we all want to see. We want to see Beast kick his butt, and Beast does, thank God. Gaston, is getting things, hitting Beast with them after he's been shot. He's sort of coming up on him from behind, but we know Beast is stronger. So yes, we have our moment when Beast has conquered Gaston and he's holding him by the throat over this big chasm, and Gaston is pleading for his life, and of course Beast takes Gaston, throws him down, and says, "Go." He lets him go, and then makes this big jump over to Belle. He says, "Belle, you came back for me." And then Gaston shoots him in the back when he's not looking. Gaston, karma steps on in. The platform which Beast had jumped off of was so deteriorated that it crumbles and Gaston falls to his death. And man, maybe I'm sadistic, but I was so happy that he died hard. I wanted him to die hard. They really made it satisfying. So that is the top 10 moments from Beauty and the Beast 2017, Disney's live-action remake. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? I probably got something wrong, so let me know in the comment section below. Just tell me off. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, you can always subscribe to Classless, maybe check out some of our other videos first. But if you do subscribe, make sure to hit that bell icon so you can actually get all of our future uploads. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. This is a long one.